What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller. Just saw Resistance 3, and I'm here with the game's writer, John Paquette. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Pleasure to see you. In there, we got to see, the new sniper rifle. It's secondary fire that explodes people right away. The new Chimera snipers who can go into cloak mode. None of that did anything for me. What did it for me was when they were describing the game, and they talked about how the doctor comes to get the man to leave. He doesn't want to leave his family. His wife says, you have to go. Tell me about the story in Resistance 3.
Sure. Well, Resistance 3 starts about 4 years after the end of Resistance 2. And if you played Resistance 2 to the end, you know that Nathan Hale, the hero of that game.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Okay. That guy was killed at the end. And Joseph Capelli was the guy who killed him. He had to shoot him because Nathan Hale was turning into a Chimeran. And, in order to save the human race, Joe had to kill that guy. Otherwise, he would have become an enemy. So Joe was then dishonorably discharged from the military because he killed the nation's hero, obviously, and he went off and decided to hang up his guns, stop fighting the Chimera, because at that point the Chimera had taken over the world, and about 90% of the human population was dead, and the remaining 10%, they just try to survive. And so Joe finds a woman, he falls in love, they have a child, and so now he's got a family, and they're living underground, hiding from the Chimera. And for the past 4 years, they've been doing okay. They've been eking out an existence. But at the beginning of Resistance 3, the Chimera find them, partially because of Dr. Malikov, who was a character from Resistance 2. And Dr. Malikov brings an interesting dilemma to Joe. He says, essentially, the Chimera are cooling the planet, because, as you remember from Resistance 1 and 2, they wear these heat packs because their metabolism is really high, and they need to make it habitable for them.
They're terraforming it, right? They're trying to turn it into their home planet.
Exactly. So part of that is cooling the planet down to a temperature where they don't have to wear the heat packs anymore. But cooling down the planet to that temperature is going to kill all the humans. So Dr. Malikov estimates that there's about 6 months or so left for them to survive. And so Joe has a choice. Does he stay and watch his family die, or does he go to New York and possibly take down the Chimera, take down this tower that they're using to cool the planet? So of course it's a video game. You want to take the journey. So
But at first he doesn't want to, right? Like he doesn't want to.
No, of course he doesn't want to. Any father would not want to leave their family, of course. But when his wife, brings to him the information from Dr. Malikov and says, "Honey, I don't want to watch Jack die, their son." And he's like, and she says, "Don't make me choose." And so Joe has to make the choice. And he says, "All right, I'll do my best." And he goes to New York, and he's got to do his best.
And that's where the game is. I thought it was interesting when you guys described the title in there. You're talking about how it's a buddy film almost of these guys traveling from Oklahoma to New York to hopefully save the planet.
Yeah, it's not a Bing Crosby, Bob Hope buddy film, but it is kind of a story of these two guys that are going on this journey. One of which, Dr. Malikov, is kind of the brains of the bunch, but he's not a fighter. He's an old guy, so he needs Joe Capelli to protect him, because Dr. Malikov is probably the only guy left on Earth who knows how to take down this tower that they're going to find in New York. So the two of them need each other in order to save Joe's family.
Another big push for Resistance 3, at least from what we saw today, was different environments. Like, we've seen some stuff, what we debuted today, right, was fighting through this woods, very slow and steady, trying to take out all these snipers. And then that's in a sharp contrast to the boat level, which is super creepy. Tell me a little bit about the environments. Like, how did you find what you wanted to use in Resistance 3?
Well, early on, we kind of mapped the journey that the player was going to go on. And we looked at, we drew a line from Haven, Oklahoma to New York City, and we looked at all the environments that the player could go through on the way there. And we said, what would make a great player experience? And there's a variety of things that we came up with. Some of them we threw away, and some we kept. And our main goal is to have an experience that is very well paced. Something that the player is gonna, like any good drama. Drama is paced well. You have your up moments and your down moments. And in Resistance 3, we want those moments to come and go, so that the player feels like they're on a longer journey. But if you play for 30 minutes or so, you're going to get a great experience.
When does this great experience begin? When can people get their hands on Resistance 3?
It's released in North America on September 6th.
Great. For all the news on Resistance 3, keep it here on IGN.com.